Hi, Tony Bear here at LAX. It came in over the scanner. A homeless man he stole a wheelchair and was harassing travelers, passengers, and the cops were called in. So the cops arrived, and these cops are really good with the homeless people. They treat them like human beings. So out of nowhere, this guy steps in and gives this homeless guy a $20 bill. So the homeless guy gets up, the cops let him go. You know, they don't even ban him from the airport. Just let him go. But this guy's incredible. He tells his life as a former homeless guy on the streets, and it's kind of a long video, but he explains his viewpoints on everything. My best YouTube channel for the homeless is Invisible People. I think my worst channel will have to be German in Venice. He's all about this, basically pretends to like the homeless, but he actually really hates the homeless. Uh, I don't monetize these videos. You know, I don't make any money off the homeless videos. But I just thought I would share this video with you guys. Please try to watch it. He explains the whole thing. And again, my favorite channel is Invisible People. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And there actually is a part 2 on how to make this soup. So here's the video. Okay, homeless guy in a wheelchair. He's been here all day harassing people. And I know a lot of homeless people that stay here, but you basically have to blend in. Blend in is very important. And anytime the employees call the cops, it's a problem. This is the LAX bicycle unit. They're good with people. But there's all forms of homeless. There's the mentally ill, there's the alcoholics, the drug addicts, and there's the homeless that actually need help. And the LAX airport police are really good with the homeless. They have a crisis intervention team that are trained for this. They're not here today, but a lot of the cops here, they're hands-on. I don't put ads in these videos. I'm not trying to make money like German in Venice. He has a lot of fans, and he's basically all he cares about is putting out the bad in the homeless. Yeah, once in a while he interviews them, but it's basically he's just a person that just cares about himself. The best person that films the homeless is Invisible People. Check out his YouTube channel. He actually cares about people. But I know a lot of homeless that live here and that they lay low, you don't bother nobody, and they never really get bothered. And once in a blue moon they get bothered, but they're not harassing people, they're not taking luggage. But there's all forms of the homeless. So let's hope the mayor and Councilman Mike Bottom put some money into the mentally ill. There's all different types of homeless people, you know, but the way German Venice points out, everybody that's homeless is no good. This guy gave him $1. That was great.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to interrupt.
No, that was great.
Just a few years ago,
Yeah.
my life wasn't really so good, and I've been to school. I've made a bunch of money, but the oil fields crashed. My life got real rough for about a year and a half. And you know what? Law enforcement let me live where I was, my tow hauler, on the beach and off the beach. And people wouldn't know it now, but it was just, you know, sometimes that little patch in your life that's real rough, and that little bit of compassion. You know, people fed me, and I didn't want to take it. I didn't take the food card. I didn't do none of that. But they came to the parking lot and gave me food when I needed food. There were several days, 3 or 4 days, that came with no food. Anyway, that little boost helped pick me back up. I'm back in the oil fields. I'm running a drilling rig here offshore again.
That's beautiful, man.
You know
That's beautiful,
man.
man.
Sometimes that little bit of compassion and that little bit of a boost from law enforcement mostly, and the local people a little bit, and some churches. Those things combined, it really helped me turn my life around. So, any chance I get.
How come everybody points to homeless as one? You know, it's all types of homeless now. There's mentally ill, there's alcoholics.
People said I wasn't. I had a toy hauler and a truck, and I worked most of the time. But then all of a sudden I lost my job, and you know, unemployment came, and he kept contesting it. So actually, we had no food, even though I should have had unemployment. But the judge said you have to pay that. So he let me go, whatever the reason was. You know, I thought it was worth more money, and he was trying to kind of knock me down a little bit. So I found my way back into the oil fields
And you flying somewhere today?
Well, I'm back to Arizona where my family lives.
That is so great, man.
Yeah.
I get really mad when the people just point all the homeless as one, and there's all different issues.
Well, I would like to think that too, but then at the same time, I kind of wanted to be a part of them when I was still holding my head up high, and they didn't feel that I was a part of it.
Yeah.
I lived in the river. They had a shower trip by my trailer that people shower in there, and I did different things like that. And cops would tell me, unfortunately, in Ventura, and they're really cool people. They like me because the locals like me. They like me. I like to work.
That's the key, right?
But why do you support these guys? We don't want you to do that, kind of, because it's a problem. I'm like, well, check it out. They don't identify with me, and you don't identify me as that. That's the only reason I'm still here. So, because I'm a worker bee.
Yeah.
I know. So, that doesn't mean, I was having some problems too. I deal with it different. Everybody deals with it different. I go to work and bury it.
Wow, that's beautiful,
7,
man.
8, 10 years. I don't know if that's good or bad. That's yes.
No, that's good.
No. Well, because sometimes you put it off so long, it bothers you. If you can just bury something and do your traumatic things and go to work, that's cool. That's like a life support system. That doesn't mean that it's a perfect system. So you still have that. So now I'm making good money again. I can make even better money. But I'm not going to do it because it would take me from my family.
I got you. Are you married?
I work in a lower position
Yeah.
now than I was. But I found out what's most valuable. So we all have, some people don't have family though, at all.
Yeah, that's the problem,
And I
yeah.
have only a little bit. With friends or family, one blood member, Moore's family, and is able to make that, go there and be something to them. But some people don't have that little bit of extra thing that, even though they don't have any money, now I have the money.
Yeah.
But when they didn't have any, they would send me a little bit, tidbits here and there. These guys didn't have that little tidbits.
And how long were you in the streets?
It was a year and a half.
Wow.
I went from living a really good lifestyle. My bosses were before me. They're immediately. They have big homes and they make a lot more money. And I had to give them money, and they were all upset. They turned to illegal activities. In 2015 and 2016, in Bakersfield, the oil fields crashed. It was so bad that people were desperate. Good people.
Yeah.
They're really good people.
Because anybody can be homeless.
Anybody can be homeless.
Yeah.
And the people don't think that, you don't know.
No, they really are that. Like at the Venice Beach, they're really knocking on the homeless people
I
there.
plan to come here to Venice Beach on my days off, and my buddy that runs the ranch, owns the ranch, and he's one of my bosses at work. He needs me there, so he made sure I didn't get the day off. So it's just food. So when I would say homeless, that some of the churches, they noticed I passed out food to people and I cooked all the time on my own dime, and they run out. So they started giving me all the store stuff, all these frozen things. I had to find people that had long-reaching effects, places I can't go, because they would hurt me, and these people would hurt me.
Yeah.
Down the river, I'm not one of them because I have an RV, I'm working, or I'm not working, I still have my own.
So you had an RV when you were homeless?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I still have to pass out food. So I found people and designated them doing this job.
Yeah, can I show you give the guy in the wheelchair some money? That was
How
good.
did you get from here to there? Oh fuck. That's what excuse my language. I came to do that on Venice Beach on my days off. I haven't forgotten the churches. I haven't donated to the churches, but I've donated to the people. So I always feel bad because I always want to donate to the churches, but I end up doing something direct that matters. Even though I haven't suffered hardships since I was young, except for these recent years,
Yeah.
where I made really good money, and the crashes were. There's every type of person.
Yeah, anybody.
And they're living in the river, so I handed out generators and swamp coolers. It's something that I had like an eBay store going.
Yeah.
But before this happened, something I did with my money. So I invested in weird stuff like that, trying to make money. But now we're living with sheets in the riverbed, and had to get people swamp coolers, small
Wow.
ones, and little generators that would run them. It's like my little angle. I did survival stuff, and I did like all these cool little things I had for sale. So I gave it all to the people that worked for oil fields, whether it was my company or not. It was really catastrophic. It was the worst thing I've ever seen, and I thought because I still had almost 50,000 in the bank, and smoking credit, and I started a business. I started barbecuing for 2 years. I didn't go back to work. I thought I couldn't even see it, but eventually the oil fields never returned for like 3 years, and I tried to open a restaurant, had all these problems. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But I made it pretty far, and then I lost all my money because I tried to open a restaurant, and I ended up losing everything I owned because I couldn't make the payments.
Yeah, I know a girl had doing a restaurant business, but she couldn't keep it. It never opened. She put a lot of time and money in it, and she ran out of money.
I could have kept doing mobile catering for all these big events, and I had a real good angle, but I was so tired it worked me to death. I just wanted a restaurant. My profits would have changed. The travel expenses, all this stuff would have changed. I tried, and eventually, when it started crashing, they're still offering me a job, and I didn't take it. I thought I'm gonna pick this up. I just tried to go for it, and I still spent like a year not working in the oil fields or barbecuing. But there was like 6 months at that time where I had like zero income.
Yeah.
Zero. I was relying on churches. I didn't do food cards. I didn't panhandle, not one bit. I did mobile RV repair. I used to have Jensen's RV repair. I went to school.
Yeah.
So I became a Microsoft engineer.
That's beautiful, man.
I did prison time. My second term, when I was 27, I got out. I did prison time, and when I got out, within 2 weeks, I was in school. And I lived in my car. I bought a car. And I had a couple cars already, but they were like hot rods and 4x. I bought a practical car. We did it for 2 years. Started an eBay business. Went to the department, brought my mom in, and finished my school in 2 years. So with a 5.0 grade average, which was really cool. I thought it was from a guy that just got out of Soledad. I thought it was a big deal.
Yeah.
So it changed my mentality, the way I think about life and people, and my confidence to fit in. You know, because if you don't have that, you start feeling alienated.
You do, yeah.
And that sends you down a different road. So every interaction you have at that point, you see it different.
Yeah, I saw you over there. It was amazing.
That guy, that poor guy, is probably suffering some hardships we don't even know.
Yeah, the cops they're really good here because they know him.
They're trying to be nice. They get the third degree. What are you gonna do? I'm not sure.
Well, they got called. Somebody called them.
I know, but I can see they're being very nice to him.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird that I noticed during my time that sometimes people say, yeah, but you're homeless. So are you saying because I don't have a home that you should maybe report me or something?
No, they're pretty harsh.
You do that?
They're pretty harsh. Especially
Why
at the
don't
beach.
you think an investment would be worthy? Like maybe it could be a job, it could be a contribution, maybe it's food. Why don't we see it that way anymore?
Because
in these states we would. In this state we're so busy, overpopulated, that it bothers our real estate, our businesses, right? So we see it kind of different. So it's not that people are bad people, they're not. I even see Christians start to do this sometimes, and they take a step back and they're like, you know what? The problem's not here.
Yeah.
It's easy to, I mean, it's logical sometimes to think this, and I can see the logic behind it. But, you know, I'm not trying to say that you have to spend a day in someone's shoes. Just saying sometimes take a little bit of a look at someone and be like, what might they be going to get persecuted? Not even legally, especially in our state or country. You can't persecute someone for being homeless.
No, of course not, man. I mean,
but people don't. But they're not trying to do that. They're seeing it from a different angle. They're not right there.
It's sad though the way they see it because they point all homeless as one.
But I understand where they're coming from, really. So they have property values and businesses. They're trying to make them run. They're trying to do these things. They're not trying to be discriminative. Most of the people are not. The vast majority. The news makes everybody a racist and discriminative. But don't watch the news. The majority of the people that will call you are really trying to make a business happen. They're trying to be by the house, raise the property value. They're not thinking. They're so busy with what they're doing that what they do, they don't know what they do.
It's sad
it
to
says
me.
it in the Bible.
Yeah.
We don't know what we do. Sometimes they don't know. And they don't know. They don't mean the harm that comes. Or that could come if you decided to take those words and act upon them.
Yeah.
Without the experience that you have, they don't understand what they're doing. they don't know what they're looking at. So it's kind of, so you can't persecute those guys either. They mean well, trying to run a business, they're trying to increase their property value. They have a struggle, a battle, and I understand that. I've been on different ends of the spectrum. I get it.
I get it in a way, but I don't like how they just like at Venice Beach, they're like knocking all the homeless down there.
Well, I plan to go to Venice Beach today, and I don't like it either. And the sheriffs in Ventura, they're friends of mine. They like me, and I like the homeless people, and they don't want that there. So they want me to kind of break it up at this point. They
I got
have faith
you.
in me, and I appreciate that. I really do. So I have some family in law enforcement. I have friends in law enforcement. So I kind of know a little more about it, and we kind of automatically click when I meet people. They're like, okay, this guy's all right, but I see different perspectives. So I have my own perspective. I see I've been able to be raised around different perspectives. So
Well, you got off the street.
I have a whole five.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got off. A lot of people don't want to be on the street.
Well, I have to go back and work on my days off.
Yeah.
I help run the ranch for a guy who hired me out here in the oil fields. A friend of mine. But it's okay. I like to work. It keeps me busy.
That's really great. Your name?
My name is Ryan.
Well, you're an amazing guy, man. Let me tell you that, man.
I drink about once a month. I had a little bit of Fireball on my way, and it makes me real happy.
Yeah, but you're doing though. You're working.
Yeah, I'm working. I do it once a month. After that, I have no days off. Today was supposed to be my day off, and they made me work the whole of it. I fly out at 7:30, so I don't get a whole day off. And next month, I'll shoot for going to the beach again. So I plan to go to Venice Beach this time. Just bring food,
Yeah.
I'd love to bring some money, but I can't because I've already seen what that does. Man, people aren't happy with food. I used to hand out food. They are, but they're not. They want all of it, and they want to take it somewhere and sell it.
Oh, I got you.
So the churches, they just started designating me this person, and I didn't want the job eventually because it caused me too much hardships. People are hating me. Why don't you just let me? What are you trying to be?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be anything. Look, I'm trying to feed people. You want to supply drug habit? It's free.
Yeah.
On the streets, I'm telling you what, it's free. If you start thinking you have to pay for something that's so free, it's ridiculous. So if you start thinking you need to cash in somebody's food, that is actually just a misconception.
Okay.
So, it's so free that at my time, couldn't break free based on don't pay for a single thing. It's just that free.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I don't know why it is.
Well, you're great, man. Thank you.
The food thing, it's in the, when the addiction goes through, you want to take all the food and bring it and sell it. You want to. So when they I felt for a while the churches discriminated against homeless people. And they wouldn't give them some of the food they give me. Some RV with a fridge. I'm doing different things. I get all this food. But they also, those churches watch you.
They do?
Or they work with law enforcement or they watch you.
Wow.
Maybe both. Because they know what I'm doing. So I cook meals and I feed everybody around me. I start finding all these homeless people on the beach and they're fishing or doing different things. I start making meals. So I had a barbecue business for 2 years and all the food went down. So I cook a lot. So I can make a dish out of anything.
That's
I've done
amazing.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
I can make food dishes out of wherever you have.
Wow.
And so I started doing that and kind of put me in a spot to distribute food. So I started doing that. But these guys were hating on me. And all I'm bringing, the church told me find people that can't make it to the food bank.
Okay.
Bring this to those people. And they're out there. If 3 people get in front of them, those guys starve. So what do you do?
Oh, yeah.
So what if some people are in wheelchairs, they're in the sand, in a van, in the river, that been there for 2 years plus. That wheelchair doesn't go through sand. They've never left their bed 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
In the river. So how did they eat? So try to focus. So I couldn't go down there because these guys hated me.
Yeah.
Some liked me and some hated me, and they wanted to jump. They wanted me to come down in there. So I had to find people that could.
Yeah.
And I'd send them with girls, men, whatever. And I'd find out about these people and send them this food package, and they promised me it'd make it there, and it did. I know it did. And so that was my thing, trying to make sure everybody ate food. People were taking it and trying to turn it into money. They don't care about it.
I got you.
Some people, and the worst part about it was the people that tried to lift their head up and go to do programs, try to do these things. There's a group of people in the middle of every they call it Tent City, Riverbed Camp, whatever you want to call it. These guys are hardcore, and they want drugs. They hurt people.
I heard about that.
People. They scare everybody so far to death that they try to run everybody. So my thing was, they're trying to run on me, and the cops told me, hey, those guys are going to run on you. We have informants that told us, hey, check it out. Those guys are trying to get me down there.
Yeah, because people don't realize that a lot of the homeless gangs, they prey on the homeless people.
I didn't know there's homeless gangs.
Oh, yeah.
But I had to learn this. So they wanted me so bad because I protect everybody. And there's been a handful of times it was physical, maybe a handful of times. And I mean, unfortunately, I did a lot of time. I boxed in prison. I took a lot of jiu-jitsu for many years. And cool Microsoft student, so you wouldn't know. But when the time came, I was cool. So, but they tried to overwhelm me several times, and they couldn't. And that's, thank God for that. But one day they would.
Yeah, my friend is homeless.
The cops said they're going to.
Yeah.
They're going to one day. Stay away, stay away.
Because they got a lot of those homeless that are meth heads, and they prey on the homeless.
There's between 1,200 and 2,000 people living in Ventura Riverbed, and most of them love me. I cook my own food. I even work for it. I work on their cars. People got Social Security when I was having hard times, and they'll pay me when they get their money, and they do. I go and buy cheaper food. I make a nice meal. I pass them out. It's just something I did. I did it in the oil fields, and I did it, when I was homeless. And I like to feed people anyway.
Yeah.
So people like that. You can see where I'm at, and but I just happened to be big enough and mean enough where those guys couldn't, and I wouldn't put myself down there.
Yeah.
They warned me sometimes.
Wow.
People warned me, hey, don't see those guys over there? Those guys plan to get you.
Wow.
But they're scared. They're like, I wouldn't say a word, but I'd pay close attention.
Yeah.
So I skated it for a while. The church warned me, and the cops warned me.
That's
more.
great. That's great.
So
I think those are like the meth head guys.
or worse. They're worse.
Yeah.
By far worse.
Because people don't really,
They're doing all this new stuff. It's not just the oxy, it's the fentanyl and the meth, and it's all the hardest things you can think of, and that's what they're doing. But they hurt people. There's a lot of investigations going on in the riverbed down there in Ventura where people that are dead. I've heard of parties around and people that want to protect people, but they're so scared that people get beat, raped to death.
Yeah, I heard that they rape a lot of girls now. Yeah.
So this is how they put you in line. But I just happen to be rough enough that people would see that, and for almost 2 years, I was able to, none of those guys, I'd see them at the edge, and they're worried about it. Sometimes they'd come hang out by me, by me enough on my own. I lived a rougher lifestyle when I was young. That those guys, they didn't doubt me. I used to have a name for myself. I went to school. I changed my life. That didn't make me weaker. It made me stronger.
You're amazing.
It made me stronger. And they didn't touch me. And that, and the churches had my back. The churches were surrounding me. Law enforcement was surrounding me. And they were always right there the whole time. And, by myself, they both warned me, you're going to get overwhelmed. If you walk in the riverbed, they're going to get you.
Wow.
They hate you. So the consensus is, the people that scare them hate, but the rest of them love me. All I'm trying to do is bring you to church, eat some food, turn your life around, go to work, try to get a life going. That's it. Any kind of life you get.
That is so great, man.
I didn't do anything special. I just try to do my part.
Well, you care, though.
Well, I care.
Yeah.
You see those guys? I've been locked up with people like that. The only reason I even got that way is by growing up in a town with people like that.
Okay.
That took my whole life away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had adverse effect. If I didn't have felonies, I probably would have been an officer. I know a lot of them. They tried to help me when I was younger, but it made me have an adverse effect.
Well, thank God you found out.
These guys couldn't go to work. You can't try to go to work when you're homeless. You try to go to work, you have safety at night. You don't have showers, clothes.
Yeah.
People are like, why don't you work?
Yeah.
What do you mean, why don't you work? Who's going to employ you when you show up?
Yeah.
Very rare. And you're scared all night. That's when all those guys are doing bonfire parties.
Yeah, I heard
they have electrical running off signs going down. They're going to big parties. They're hurting people to make an example.
Wow.
Right? So, yeah, you're scared to death. I was scared to death in my RV. Let alone where they're at. I couldn't imagine.
So I guess you got to stay near the RV because they might try to burn it down or something, right?
they will tie you up in the middle of a party and have a party around you, is my understanding. A party around you. And every bad thing they can all do, they'll make people scared enough to do things to you.
Damn.
They'll turn everybody against you. They're just that ruthless. But on their own, as I started to raise awareness around these guys and form my own little camaraderie, they started becoming weaker. Because if you cut them out, that group by themselves, I'm not scared of them at all.
Yeah.
That group, their power of persuasion is by persuading more people to more people.
In numbers. In numbers.
They sit in the middle and they don't even leave the riverbed, and they just run on people and do all these bad things, just as icons to scare you. So once the fear goes away, now they're scared.
That's beautiful.
And I'm coming for them. At that point, I was so upset. So I have a bunch of veterans on my team, but they warned me, don't go there. Don't do it. I had this little weird plan to use my stereo to simulate a fire to flush them out.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm just going to flush them out where they can't get me. Because if I can get them in a group out here in one spot, you know, so I was able to help identify who they were. And there were some people, some of the names they had, actually were very bad people.
Yeah.
And they're actually convinced they weren't. So I don't know what story they said, but they're wrong. So I was able to clear that up. That helped a lot. Because if you can take that out of it, the rest of these guys could maybe have a life.
Yeah.
Maybe they could go to work and not have to be in fear all night. You know, even live in the riverbed, maybe even clean up and go to work and try to see how I was able to. I had a little bit of help. I was able to step out and move right up. They don't have that. Maybe they don't have family. And if you're held down by those guys, so cutting out those people from that crowd is so hard to do.
And those guys basically.
I would think because law enforcement has a bunch of people in the crowd.
Well, the problem is
they told me they do, and I know they do because some people told me.
Well, the problem is those guys they victimize people, and the cops don't do anything. A lot of the cops.
No, they didn't recognize them. No, they're trying. They have a task force from hell in Ventura.
I mean, I'm just saying in general.
But they had belief that some of the people that I know that are not part of the good guy crowd that I've named, and they're like, no, those people are trying to change your life. I said, no, they're not. Look, I only know maybe a third of these people. They stay away from me. But some of these guys, they're the worst ones.
They call themselves the good guys?
They had law enforcement convinced that
Yeah.
they're wrong. And I told them that. They're like, really? I'm like, I promise you. You know what I mean? I have just enough knowledge base for being here. Check it out. These are the guys, I'm surprised. I mean, they're not taking it by appearance because, you know, it can appear anyway. And some of these guys, they're really bad people. I get it from all the people around that are scared. They told me, you know, and they don't want to tell anybody. I'll come back on them.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
come back on me.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't. You know, I don't really care. So, and I don't blame them. I just been in the worst spot in life.
Yeah.
I don't care as much.
Well, you're amazing,
So,
man. You're amazing.
It just helped a little bit identify some of the problems, and hopefully that gets chiseled away, and that will help everybody kind of move up without having that heavy influence of fear, you know. So I was able to identify a lot more than I had planned to, man. I had no intentions of all these things. That's what happened. I learned this stuff, and I try to protect people, but it's like I didn't know how.
But no, it's hard because you're outnumbered.
No, eventually I don't care. I'm not outnumbered. It only looks that way. So there's this song that I have. I learned it when I went to, right before this happened, I went to Teen Challenge for a quick minute. I get hit by some random guy and I hit him back. I used to be a boxer, so when I hit him back, it just destroyed him.
That's great.
So it's not good because they wanted to keep me, but I was a boxer, so if you lit me up, if I just threw a single punch, and that's all I did.
I got you.
It was just a bad deal. So I didn't get to do the whole program. But there's this song, it's How I Fight My Battles. Have you ever heard that song?
No. How's it go?
Okay. This is the best song. This is the coolest song. The song is amazing. Okay, I learned this in Teen Challenge. Only got 3 days there. Okay, but okay, so this is the person. I play this for the homeless people there who who had big things in parking lots with big speakers.
Yeah.
Where the cops gave me tickets with nothing on it.
Yeah.
At all, to let us keep playing our Christian
Wow,
music.
wow.
I learned this in Teen Challenge. It's only a few days, and I wanted to be there so bad.
St. Jude is your security point.
This song is awesome. I've sung it to people.
You have?
And some in good response, and some I've lit them up. You know, it depends.
Yeah.
So, the demons around you. This right here.
Okay, I will put the video in the description because I don't want to get a strike. But it is a great song that gives him a lot of motivation, and I want to thank him again. Incredible man, the real deal. The real deal. He used to be homeless. He even said he used to be in prison, and he changed his whole life around. He's taking care of his family, and he's working. And the video just started out to be the guy that stole the wheelchair was harassing passengers and everything. But this guy steps in and gives the guy it was a $20 bill, not a $1 bill. And this is an incredible person. You know, the homeless are people too. And like I said, German in Venice, he has one way of thinking, and it's all about the way the rich people think. You know, he pretends to like the homeless, but he actually doesn't. And you have to, when you record the homeless, you have to do it a certain way, and you have to really know what you're doing. And that channel happens to be Invisible People. Thanks for tuning in. Look for part 2. He tells us how to make this soup. Talk to you.